Judge hammers that into center field and deep. Young back, looking up, it's gone.
Out of all this window dressing and all these shiny objects and all the shit you could be paying attention to today in this win, Aaron Judge hitting that home run and being the first to the table for the feast, and Max Fried pitching another solid start today, because the Yankees are only going as far as Max Fried's going to take them in the postseason. But I have a special segment for you guys today. It's called my Brian Cashman Part 2 series, Your Ego is Not Your Amigo.
And now Bellinger annihilates that to right. Goodbye.
Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. The Empty Calorie Yankees make history in the Bronx and win 4 in a row. We've got highlights. We got Aaron Boone's post-game press conference. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports Talk for sports nuts.
McMahon cranks that in the air to right field and deep. Cruz looking up, and that is also gone.
In the minor leagues where, you hit lefties, you hit righties, and you hit lefties out of the ballpark.
Yeah, no struggle there.
Hey, where's Michael? See you. How's that?
2-1. Hit hard right to second. Jazz will go the short way and end the inning. Jazz thought there was only one out.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us here, New York Minute Sports. And if you watched the third inning, you saw the whole game today. The Yankees set a record with the most pitches thrown in one inning by a team. The Nationals threw 77 pitches in the third inning. The Yankees also set baseball history by having the most 9 home run games in Major League Baseball history. Also setting the Yankee record for the most back-to-back home runs in the same season. And you know what that all means as a Yankee fan? Absolutely nothing. They cleaned up against a terrible team this weekend, and you can only play the teams in front of you. I get it. But do you know how many wins 9 home runs gets you in one game? 1. It gets you 1 win. Remember the 9 home run a game against the Brewers this year? The next 3 games, they didn't score any runs, and it's like, save some for tomorrow, guys. So the Yankees are setting records all over the place, but that's why I like to call them the Empty Calorie Yankees. They're setting all the wrong records, and I know you can only play the games in front of you, and we would be bitching and complaining if the Yankees didn't beat the Nationals today, but you cannot take much in this game today, guys. This is not going to carry over to the White Sox game tomorrow. This is just a blip in the radar, and everyone was hitting. Do you know who wasn't hitting today? I'll give you a wild guess. I'll give you a couple of seconds to guess. Go ahead. Yep, you were right. Anthony Volpe.
3-2. Volpe lines out to second.
Anthony Volpe didn't hit at all. I don't get what's going on with Aaron Boone's love affair, his obsession with his baby boy, Anthony Volpe. Does Anthony Volpe have some kind of Epstein list on Aaron Boone, or some nefarious pictures of Aaron Boone partying when he was in college at USC? Because he goes out of his way to play Anthony Volpe when you have a guy like Caballero ready to go, waiting in the wings. He is not working out, and Brian Cashman is doing everything in his power to get him on the diamond and to try to turn it around. But, man, they don't give people a lot of turns like this, like Gary Sanchez or Melky Cabrera. Look at that. Boom, right to the second baseman. This kid is way too much in his own head, and I'm telling you, if you were to trade him to like somewhere like the Cubs or Arizona, I bet you he would thrive because the mental piece of it. One of the best things that I saw about that third inning to start it off was a home run by Aaron Judge. Now, if Aaron Judge hit the home run when it was 7-1, I would have said, okay, it's just compiling. He's just getting a home run because the Nationals can't even just strike anybody out at this point. Aaron Judge started it off. The way that he's looked the last 2 weeks, he's looked hurt and he's looked lost at the plate. And today it looked like he locked back in. He started that huge rally in the third inning. He hits a home run, then Belly hits a home run, and they set the franchise record for the most back-to-back home runs in Major League Baseball history. I'll tell you this, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge didn't do that last year, but Cody Bellinger and Aaron Judge do it this year. Ryan McMahon, big home run today. He has been dismal at the plate, and yeah, he plays a Gold Glove third base, but after a while, you might want to see Rosario over there because he hits 276 when Rosario plays all the time. So if I had my druthers, I would be playing Rosario and Caballero on the left side of the infield, and I would bench Volpe and bench Ryan McMahon. Also, Max Fried today had a no-no until the 6th inning. He was on fire. Another great performance from Max Fried. Out of all this window dressing and all these shiny objects and all the shit you could be paying attention to today in this win, the most crucial thing about today's win, Aaron Judge hitting that home run and being the first to the table for the feast, and Max Fried pitching another solid start today, because the Yankees are only going as far as Max Fried's going to take them in the postseason, because the Yankees are only 4.5 games out of first place right now. The Yankees are in second place for the wild card, a game and a half up on the Seattle Mariners. And of course, the Seattle Mariners, I love watching them collapse every year. And everyone gets suckered into the Seattle Mariners it looks like they could do some damage in the playoffs. And then they shit the bed. They come in second place, and Houston always wins that division, and the wild card comes out of the East. So good luck with that. But I have a special segment for you guys today. It's called my Brian Cashman Part 2 series, Your Ego is Not Your Amigo. I found this little gem from a couple of years ago, and it's very, very telling about the status of Brian Cashman's mindset and the reason that we could actually be seeing some of the reasons that Anthony Volpe is still playing for the New York Yankees.
Maybe you're making a point on behalf of
other young players come up and succeed in the major leagues. Am I missing the young players who are coming up who
with
are
the Yankees
offensively succeeding in the major leagues?
So you're saying that we can't produce major.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm asking. You described it as indisputable. I'm asking you where, ultimately.
But the example you want to say right now is Volpe, I guess, and Cabrera. Those are the two, right? Peraza.
Like if they were performing.
So this is from 2 years ago. He's talking about Volpe, Cabrera, Peraza, Pereira. Think about where all those guys are right now. Think about the status of Anthony Volpe. Like I told you last night, since 2023, there's been 88 players with 1,500 at-bats. Anthony Volpe is in the 88th of every offensive category out of those 88 players. So this is telling. This is from 2 years ago, and Brian Cashman sticking up for his moves, and it's cool to look back at these and see exactly the start of the problem for this New York Yankees team all the way in 2025, because the product that you see on the field the moves were made 3 to 4 years prior to that to make the team that's on the field right now. Remember how long we were hearing about Jason Domínguez for Anthony Volpe in the farm system, and how many times we did not move Anthony Volpe, Peraza, or even Miguel Andujar for Garrett Cole before he went to Houston on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Miguel Andujar held up the Garrett Cole trade first, and Garrett Cole went to the Houston Astros, and we all know how that turned out.
They would have kept getting more at-bats. They didn't perform, and they didn't.
But Peraza's not getting everyday reps. He's got Glaber, he's got Volpe now, he's got LeMahieu. Prior to that was Donaldson. There was not a lane for him to even play. So I don't even know why you use Peraza.
Well, these are your young players.
I understand that, but he's got to have a spot to play for you to be able to use his name.
Well, if he would have hit, he would have played more. He didn't hit, so he didn't play more, right?
Well, where's he going to play?
Well, if he hit, he would have played.
Who would he, if he hit? Like, is Abbott Costello. If he hit, who's he taking out?
But this is the bizarro world that is the Yankees organization. This is a great eye-opening video to what goes on in the farm system. He's like, where would he have played if he hit? Brian Cashman has played players out of position all over the place. He runs the Yankees like it's a local bar softball league, okay? Everybody's out of position. And he goes, if these players hit, like Volpe, Peraza, Pereira, Cabrera, if these guys hit, where would they play? It's all log jammed. But you know, if somebody comes up and they start tearing the ball off, the cover off the ball, you're going to find a spot for him. Look at Ben Rice this year. So this is where Brian Cashman is caught red-handed, talking out of both sides of his mouth. By the way, this is Joel Sherman talking to him of the New York Post or the Daily News. New York Post or Daily News.
LeMahieu at third. Is he taking out Volpe at short? Is he taking out Gleyber Torres, who was one of the best second basemen in the American League last year?
And this is when he's talking about Gleyber Torres, who he just let walk for $11 million this year, who was the starting second baseman of the All-Star game for the Detroit Tigers, will probably win the Gold Glove, and is the second best second baseman in all of baseball this year.
Win, you're going to play the guys who are hitting. If he hit, he would have played, right?
I guess if he hit better than Volpe, he would have played shortstop, and he would have won the thing out of spring training. But Volpe won it out of spring training. I think it's a stupid discussion that we're having personally. I think our player development system, all that matters from my end to you is I think our player development system does a great job. You're questioning whether it does. That's your job to do. Proof will be in the pudding. Let's see how. So if Volpe comes up crushing it this year, are you going to be like, hey, I guess maybe you're making a point out to half.
But if Volpe comes up not crushing it this year, Brian Cashman, are you going to hold a press conference and say that you were wrong? Because Joel Sherman was exactly right. All of those guys mentioned have not panned out. Now, the same guy, Brian Cashman, expects us to believe that Lombard is the dude, Spencer Jones is the dude. Brian Cashman can do pitching. Don't get me wrong. As positional players go, Brian Cashman has developed Melky Cabrera, Robinson Cano, and Aaron Judge. That's it. Period. Stop. And everybody else that he's developed on this team is diggity dog shit. Anthony Volpe just proved it again today, going 1 for 35. This is crunch time. This is the end of the year. And I can't remember as a Yankee fan, think about the last couple of weeks in August. The Yankees would usually have first place so locked up, and that the Yankees in the playoffs would be a laugher of the idea of them going to the playoffs, that you could actually switch gears for a couple of weeks to the start of football. But now we are totally locked in to baseball, and we're going to be totally locked into the NFL. And also, guess who else is going to be locked in? Aaron Boone in his post-game press conference.
How do you wrap your head around that third inning?
I mean, yeah, it was outstanding. That was.
Look at that. 15 batters, 9 runs, 4 home runs, 77 pitches seen, 41-minute inning. You know what? I've been bitching and moaning all year long. Can the Yankees look at more pitches in the box? And today they see 77 pitches. I was listening to it on the radio. Let me know in the comments below. Could the pitcher not find the plate, or were they actually working this pitcher? So what I'm saying is, was it the pitcher, or was it the Yankees' base hitting ability that made him go 7? Were they making this guy sweat and jump through hoops, or could the pitcher just not throw it?
Good to see the guys come out today and in a day game getaway with a chance to have a really good series and finish it off and really put an exclamation point on it. So, good day for us, good flight, and now we got to go good after it in Chicago.
Ben Rice said on the field, an inning like that, it's contagious. Can you get that sense when you're in the dugout that guys are looking forward to stepping into the batter's box during an inning like that?
Yeah, a little bit. Just some good at bats.
Speaking about Ben Rice, it's been red hot. It's been great. I have no complaints. I would just love the Yankees to see him, put him in one position and let him ride, whether first base, catcher, whatever it is. Let him get acclimated to one spot. But I noticed that he has 49 RBIs. You know Jason Domínguez has 45? Jason Domínguez has played in a significantly less amount of games than him. And I do hear how Ben Rice has been, he's been great this year and how of an offensive powerhouse he is. But just think about how many less games Jason Domínguez has played in, and Jason still has 45 RBIs. And that was in the beginning of the year when he was being sat for defense and when also he was still hitting from the right side of the plate, which he had no business in doing. So just a little shout to Jason Domínguez, which I still have a soft spot for him. I still fluctuate between liking him, thinking he's the future, and being like, package this dude for proven guys because I can't trust anybody from the farm system. So let me know what you guys feel about the Martian in the comment section. He's had a bumpy rookie year, but he also is 22, and you do see the ability, you see the speed, the base running, and you can see the batter's eye is there. Many times this year, Jason Domínguez gets down 0-2 in a count, and before you know it, the count's full. He flips off about 2 more, fouls him off, and then gets a hit with about an 11-pitch at bat. That's why he is the future leadoff hitter of the New York Yankees. Just needs to
Caballero
get more reps
really well.
underneath his belt at a major league level.
They just started not missing. And Ben obviously being one of the catalysts, everything he hit again today was really.
Yeah, that's exactly one of those stats I'm talking about. That's not going to help the Yankees at all. First team in Major League Baseball history with 3 4-home run innings in a season. Okay. You know how many wins they got from that?
And,
3. That's it. Doesn't count for more, doesn't count for less. In fact, it pads stats and it kind of skews the performance of the guys when you look at the numbers at the end of the year. And we know all about guys that love to pad stats. Robinson Cano made a whole goddamn career off of padding stats with the Yankees from the 7th inning on. Remember when the A-Rod was on the team and the Yankees would be mashing some team 7-1, and then Robinson Cano would show up because he was at the Latin quarters with Melky Cabrera the night before, and he finally woke up and started playing in the 7th inning and would have 4 RBIs and just pad those stats.
Being able to salvage one, in the Red Sox series, and then coming out and handling business here. It's good to see, and we got.
I just, in the comment section, just bombarded New York Minute, NEWYRKMIN on Instagram, everyone making fun of the Yankees that they're beating the Nationals. What do you expect them to do? We'd be killing them if they weren't beating the Nationals. They have to play the teams in front of them. Would you rather them play difficult teams? Would you rather them fly in a difficult team and play them every night just to appease you? No. The Yankees have to play the schedule in front of them, and just like I told you, they're going to suck you back in. We're in the suck right now, in the good suck. There's bad sucks and there's good sucks. This is a good suck. We're in the they're going to make us believe again suck. And then Houston, Toronto, Boston the week after this. And that's when we can go from suck to blow, folks. Because the Yankees can go from suck to blow real quick because Aaron Boone will do everything in his power to play Anthony Volpe and let him try to screw up a game. I don't trust Anthony Volpe, and if he brings him in for a defensive replacement,
Aaron, I know
Aaron Boone should be fired on the spot.
Any day of the week, but the inning lasted 41 minutes. It was 45 minutes till Max Fried threw another pitch. How did he
Yeah, Max Fried did a very good job of staying sharp. It also helped that it was a nice day out, a little bit warm in the dugout. It would be different if this game was in October during the postseason and a starting pitcher had to take that much of a break and go into the dugout. Those guys can get cold. And also, you want to be in a rhythm as a starting pitcher. Usually games, they're about 3-5, 5-3 or whatever. The low-scoring games usually average is like about 3.5 to 4 runs in Major League Baseball. So the pitcher will get into a rhythm. But then you take 45 minutes off of one inning, the pitcher can come back in and completely lose his control and blow the game. And that's when you see the 18 to 15 games and the complete Rock'em Sock'em Robots games. But Max Fried was sharp today. No hitter through 6. He was excellent. That's 2 straight back-to-back starts that he is looking healthy. He's looking strong. It looks like he has command of his pitches, and he is hitting the stride leading into the postseason and leading this team into the wild card because he hit a wall after the All-Star break and that blister.
That was the one little bit of a concern, and obviously when the catcher had to leave, that delayed it even more. So, he did some light throwing, just under in the cage just to kind of keep warm and made sure he got out there quick to make sure he got a couple extra pitches and made sure Osmus was ready to go.
That's another major thing for these guys. Not only do these guys have the tablets when they can look at right after an at-bat, these guys have now pitching stations and hitting stations underneath the stadium that they can go down and they can stay warm or they can drive a bike. Even 25 years ago, you would just see a pitcher just wrap a towel, 2 towels around his arm and stay huddled in the corner and try to stay warm that way. But nowadays with the technology that they have and the space that they have and the technology of the stadiums that they have, guys can go in. That's another thing that's helped with pinch hitting in this team. The Yankees have fluctuated between players on the roster, but these guys can go down in the cage like Giancarlo Stanton has been doing, and they can start hitting about 30. They can take 30 swings. And also, a lot of teams are using this simulator where they can type in what pitcher is pitching in the game, and then an image shows up, and it has the same launch, it has the same velocity, and the same kind of relish on that hot dog. So it's like you're already batting against the pitcher you're going to face in a minute. So technology has really changed the game with Major League Baseball.
Really a good job by him there of just, that is one of those things where it can throw you off your rhythm a little bit. And he went out and powered right through it and was efficient. So that was good to see.
You mentioned the efficiency. It seemed like he was working pretty quick, especially
Sounds like there's
on.
an echo in this room, Boone. And that's when Max Fried is working well, when he has a good rhythm and he gets the ball and goes right back to the mound and he's pitching and pitching and pitching. When the ump is holding him up a little bit, that means Max Fried is pitching well. This is the ace that we got in the offseason. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. Asking you right now, New York Minute Sports followers, and thank you for the support, guys. You've been so nice to me. How do you feel about the Juan Soto deal? Are you happy that he walked now? That you see Max Fried and the season that he's given the New York Yankees? Think about where the Yankees would be if they had Juan Soto in their lineup.
Yeah, again,
and
a little
no
everything. I thought the sinker was
Yankees
good.
Be
the
in 4th
curveball,
place.
Sweeper. When I see him beat, so that's for another day. The focus now turns to the White Sox, and we got to go play our game.
You talked about Judge and his timing before the game. He obviously homered. Did you see anything different today than in the past couple of weeks? Still, when I see him get to that really good place, I know it, when and I feel like a few guys right now just kind of, again, it all starts with everybody's different and how they get started and how they get loaded. But it's so important to get yourself in your strong hitting position
In baseball, timing is everything, guys. The Yankees have not even hit their stride this year at any point. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's been the story all year. The Yankees shoot themselves in the foot. It's been their story all year. But let's go to make-believe land for a second. What if Aaron Judge has an end of the season like he had the beginning of the season? What if the New York Yankees have a locked-in Max Fried, a locked-in Aaron Judge, and a team that goes on a winning streak in the playoffs because the Yankees haven't had a major winning streak? 7 is the biggest, but the Yankees can do better than that. And what by Aaron Baboon means by it's right in front of us. Make your way over to Instagram, New York Minute, NEWYRKMIN. And don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe right here, New York Minute Sports. Thank you so much for the last 2,000 subscribers in the past 2.5 weeks on here. Thank you so much, guys. And don't forget, I'm going to be having wall-to-wall NFL coverage. I'm a diehard Jet fan. I know the Giants. I'm going to cover the NFL wall-to-wall, guys. And now the Yankees are going into Chicago. They've won 4 in a row. Let's get this sweep against the White Sox and go into next week and start setting the precedent for the Yankees playoff run. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Bye.